Welcome to the Drive-In Movie Podcast.
Now playing Karate Kid Legends.
This is the podcast where we watch a movie and immediately come to the car to film a podcast.
Right, so be warned, there is no professional equipment here. It is literally just us, our mics, and our phones.
However, we have just seen a brand new movie and it's fresh on our brains, so
We gotta talk about it.
exactly.
We gotta talk about it. Thank you for driving in with us.
Yeah, thanks for driving in.
Yeah.
Berkan, can I tell you something?
Please tell me something.
This was the first Karate Kid movie I've ever seen.
And what did you think? How many Michaels would you give Karate Kid Legends?
Out of 10 Michaels, 7.5.
Bang! Okay, I was so worried that you weren't gonna enjoy it because first previews came out like weeks ago, and people said it was terrible.
Really?
So I was like, oh no.
People said it was terrible?
Yeah, people said this movie was terrible. I gave it 8 Michaels.
I liked
eight
it.
Michaels.
I
thought it was so
it.
much fun. It's
Yeah.
funny. The karate is awesome.
Yeah.
The fighting is awesome. The cast chemistry is awesome. Casting's great. Good time. It wasn't really cheesy.
What could be terrible about it?
Honestly, I don't know. I love like fighting movies in general. They're
Yeah.
so much fun,
Mhm.
especially karate. Like I'm a sucker for a good karate movie. That's why I love the Karate Kid movies. I love Cobra Kai, and I really, really enjoyed Karate
I
Kid.
wasn't sure what I was going to think about this movie going into it because I had never seen any of the previous ones in the franchise. And so I was like, this could be a mixed bag. I
Yeah.
couldn't, because also if they're bringing in a bunch of different like characters
You
from
won't
the different
understand a
movies,
thing.
exactly, I'm not going to know anything. But that didn't hinder me at all. Like
Yeah.
I could pick up easily because we all know the original Karate Kid's in it, right?
Yeah.
Like we all like that's not a secret.
And he's
That's
the
not a
only
spoiler.
character where I feel like if you've never seen anything, there's not really an explanation. He's just like,
Well,
oh yeah, you're there, but they
like,
do kind of
no,
explain
but yeah, the first like 2 minutes, it's
Yeah.
like they're like, hey, you remember the kid, the Karate Kid?
yeah.
You know?
Which, by the way, the opening sequence I think is all CGI because I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I don't remember this
How
at all.
yeah? How
And it-
could they have gotten these actors? Like
Yeah,
unless
I
it's
think
like
it's
a
all
clip
CGI.
from the original movie.
yeah, and they did this
Yeah.
thing in the finale of Cobra Kai where they had
Mhm.
Mr. Miyagi like appear, and obviously it wasn't actually Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, and they're getting really good at that.
they're getting so good at it.
Yeah.
It was flawless.
Yeah, I thought they got real actors and stuff. I was kind of thinking that this looks like it's supposed to be exactly the same people,
yeah.
but maybe they just got like lookalikes or something.
No,
I don't know.
it literally was like I thought. For a sec I leaned over to you. I was like, "This is from the first movie."
Yeah.
Because I thought it was I still don't know if it's from the first movie or not.
So what's the deal with Cobra Kai then? Is that I've heard of it? That's a show, right?
Yeah. So Cobra Kai took place, and it's crazy that Karate Kid is still relevant after 40 years.
Guys, karate is cool again.
karate is cool.
Breaking news: karate is cool again.
But no, okay. So Cobra Kai, since you don't know really anything about it, the same scenario. Kid moves, gets bullied, enters a karate contest. He wins. He gets trained.
So
he
the story's
stands up to
always
his
the
bully.
same.
The story structure is basically
'Cause
the same.
Wasn't that
There's a girl
Jaden Smith?
involved.
I remember the Jaden Smith Karate Kid trailer, and that
Yes.
seemed like the same.
It's
premise.
exactly the same.
Okay.
And so Cobra Kai was a series on Netflix. It's actually really good. If you
Uh-huh.
enjoy this movie, I think you'll enjoy Cobra Kai.
Okay.
It's really cheesy, but also like it works really well because the fighting is also really cool.
Yeah.
And they do so much. They do so much that you're like, this is so ridiculous. It's unexpected. It's really fun.
Yeah.
That's why I really enjoy it. But Cobra Kai basically is from the perspective of the bully of the original Karate Kid.
Ooh.
And he's opening a dojo, and he's basically, it's a
Oh.
redemption story for him. He's putting his life back together. And so, and obviously, Daniel LaRusso is involved. It's this whole like storyline, but it's really well done. Like it's so good.
That is something. I'm glad that they explored that storyline then, because at the end of this movie, the bully from this movie, I thought was redeemable.
Yeah.
At the end of the movie, I was like, maybe he's not such a terrible kid.
Every bully in every Karate Kid movie has a chance of redemption. They
That's
have
cool.
they have a little hope. It literally is structured
That's
the
cool.
exact same.
Yeah.
It truly is.
Because at the end of the day, he's just like a teenager who's probably just hopped up on too much testosterone and like
Yeah.
got some bad guidance
Yeah,
from some,
for sure.
asshole.
For sure.
So it's like, I'm glad that they're like, hey, you're still just like a kid. Maybe you took things a little far, but it's like, you're not irredeemable yet.
yeah. And
you
listen, there's some light spoilers in this video, obviously.
Right. We're not going to tell you guys the whole plot
but,
or
like,
what really happens.
The
or-
one
yeah.
thing I didn't really like, the one thing I was like, well, you probably could have wrapped this up just a little bit better.
Uh-huh.
The owner of the dojo, of the competitor dojo, the one
Yeah.
with the douchebag is like from.
Mhm.
Nothing really happens to him. He's just kind of like an asshole the
He's-
entire time,
Mhm.
and there's no moment where it's like, see, you're a bad sensei. good. Because the whole thing about Karate Kid is like a student's only as good as its sensei, right? That's a general theme. And so the sensei didn't really learn anything. It's like, oh, your kid just lost, but he's just an asshole and there's no consequence for him. He gets to still be an asshole. I don't really feel like he learned a lesson, which is kind of an underlining part of the Karate Kid franchise.
That is an interesting point because I had never seen any of the previous Karate Kid movies, so that didn't bother me at all.
Yeah.
Like, I actually didn't care about that character at all. Like, he barely registered for me.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he got a lot of screen time or a lot of attention or anything in
That's
general.
the other thing. So he was just kind of like a dick freely,
Yeah.
But the movie is like great. And honestly, like Karate Kid is probably a really really interesting franchise because, these movies came out in like the 80s.
Uh-huh.
They had 3 of them, maybe more. I think just 3. And then you get nothing for 20 years. And then 2010, you get Jackie Chan, Jane Smith. You get a remake. It's a true remake, right? And it's good. I really enjoy. I don't know what the general opinion of that Karate Kid movie is, but I remember I loved it growing up in theaters. Like I watched it. I went home and I went to my dad's. Like, Dad, I want to work out. I want to get ripped. I want abs. Like I didn't want to go like learn karate. I was like, I want to go work. I started working out with my dad because of that movie. So I really enjoyed it. And then Cobra Kai comes along, like again, like 10 years later, 8 years, 6, 7 years later, whatever. And it's another like reboot essentially, but it's a continuation. So it's like a legacy sequel. And that's really done well. And now Karate Kid Legends is done really well. The Karate Kid franchise may be the only franchise that knows how to do legacy sequels consistently.
Yeah. Like normally they just feel like sellouts, like they feel like cash grabs.
Yeah.
But this one feels really well done.
It does. It really does.
And it also just feels I haven't seen the original stuff.
Are you gonna go? So does it make you want to go watch it?
I might now. But even so, it seems like it'd probably be a good standalone sequel. And a lot of these legacy sequels are not good standalones.
Yeah. So this is what I was thinking like throughout the movie. Karate Kid Legends kind of feels like I'm watching 2 movies at some point. Because the first half of it feels like a completely different movie in a sense. And I was like, oh, I actually really like this story. I'm worried because, again, light spoilers, but like Jackie Chan and Daniel, I can't remember the actual actor's name, right?
Okay.
So the Hans character and Daniel LaRusso's character, they don't really play a consistent part until like the second half of the movie, right?
Yeah.
And so I was almost thinking, oh no, I really like the movie I'm currently watching. I hope they don't ruin it.
Yeah.
Like I hope it doesn't, like I hope it meshes well. And it did. So crisis averted.
Right. Yeah. There were parts in this movie that I audibly, uncontrollably, like went, ooh, like I saw someone get punched in the face, and I'm in a quiet movie theater, and and they make the fights so intense and so cool that like I could not control my reaction. Yeah.
Can we talk about how electric our theater was?
Oh yeah.
The theater went nuts. I never thought in a million years, because we saw Karate Kid Legends at a press screening, right? We were invited by a local PR company to go watch the movie. Thank you to Sony also for having us too.
Thank you.
So we got to go watch it early, and I always thought that these press screenings would be a little more professional setting. But every single time, the press screening is always electric. People, maybe it's just Dallas, I don't know, but everybody always claps, cheers. Like when the bad guy loses, everybody goes nuts.
Jackie Chan shows up on screen.
Woo! Yeah. They're like, literally, okay, again, spoiler alert, but it's a Karate Kid movie. You understand how this goes. The Karate Kid, like, at the end where he may or may be victorious, the crowd goes electric like you're actually there.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy.
No, because the audience is clapping in the movie, but then the real life audience is also clapping.
Yeah.
And so you're like, where does it end and us begin?
It's so good. And it's just so much fun. It's literally like I'm watching an MCU movie opening night every single night. But you know what? This
with
crowd
all those cameos
is more into it than like Thunderbolt's crowd was.
Yeah, this one was really into this movie.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I loved it.
Yeah, I had a great time.
Yeah.
I really do hope that you go and like watch the other Karate Kids. Maybe watch Cobra Kai. You get the benefit of it actually being finished.
Yeah.
So you can just binge through it. It's a good binge.
Need to take some karate classes.
We could take karate.
Yeah.
Listen, 100 Patreons and Michael and I will take a karate class.
Need to learn the 1-inch punch. Dude.
Yeah.
Badass.
So
karate
good.
is cool again.
Karate's cool. And Kung Fu is everywhere.
Kung Fu is in.
Man, I had such a good time. So definitely 8 out of 10 recommend Karate Kid Legends.
I was not. I'm still struggling to imagine the people who had like a bad critique of it. Like I'm trying to imagine what they were picking.
I think like people thought like the movie didn't flow. It was like from things I saw, like people thought it didn't flow. It was like an editing nightmare.
Then like
I mean, there
are montages. Sure. There's a bunch of montage. I'm not gonna lie to you. The movie might be 40% montage.
Honestly, yeah.
But I mean,
it's fun. It's a fun
kind
time.
of what you want.
It's a cool time.
You don't want to actually watch him train for that long. You want to get the idea of him training.
And it wasn't like cheesy, like overall corny lines.
There were some,
of course, but like it was funny. Like I laughed. There's honestly like Daniel LaRusso and Hans just bully the crap out of this kid, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
I love it.
And those are the parts that get cheesy to me.
Yeah,
it's
funny. Like
is when the original Karate Kid and Jackie Chan are interacting with each other. It's like
that is the cheesiest part.
It's the cheesiest part, but it's fine. You forgive it. You're like,
I just love seeing Jackie Chan and things again.
Me too.
He's so good. Have you seen the Rush Hour movies?
I've seen the first one.
The Rush Hour trilogy is so underrated.
I was late to the
comedy.
game. I was late to the game on Rush Hour, so I've only seen the first
one.
Oh
man, I watched it growing up. It's so funny. The action's great, and people give Tom Cruise his flowers for doing his own stunts. I remember Rush Hour 3, Jackie Chan climbed the Eiffel Tower. Come on.
That's why in like the last episode when you were like, they should call it the Tom Cruise Award. Like he's like, he deserves this award, and they're not even giving out the first stuntman Oscar until next year, which is after his last Mission Impossible. But again, like to me, I'm like, yeah, but there were lots of previous other stuntmen who did tons of cool stuff. Like to your point, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, for
sure. So it's like I'm glad that they're finally introducing that Oscar category. But of course, there's so many people after the fact that maybe they'll get honorary Oscars. Yeah.
I also really like that Ben Wang, who played Lee.
Yeah, Ben Wang. Because it's Wang.
Yeah.
So
Ben Wang in this movie, he does a lot of his own like stunts too. Like those jumps and stuff, it's all him.
That is so cool because the jumps are crazy. He's doing like quadruple backflips in the air.
Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah,
it's so cool. And
that fight scene with him in the alleyway where he's like grabbing onto fire escapes and swinging around and kicking
so
people.
Good. That's the best part. The choreography of the fights are so clean.
Oh my god!
And they found him based off like a casting search. You know?
That is cool.
Like they announced this movie with a video of Jackie Chan. Yeah. And God, what is his name? I cannot karate. Daniel LaRusso. What is your name? Anyway, they like made a video together saying we're making Karate Kid movie together, but we need the Karate Kid, so we're searching for the Karate Kid. So he was just like found in like a self-tape thing, and now he's going to be in the next Hunger Games
That's so
movie
cool.
Too.
Oh wow, that's so cool that nowadays like you don't need to like have a contact or have like an agent or something because of like the internet and stuff. Like
you can figure it out.
If you're just cool and talented and you put stuff out there, like you know, maybe the right people find it.
The right people. That's why I've been trying to train to become a Viking so I can be in How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah, you started training?
Yeah, I just like it's been week 1. This is week 2 of being in the gym.
Yeah.
Are
you buff yet?
No. I'm still in my hiccup phase.
Maybe another week or 2.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. We had some crazy news, by the way, Michael.
Yeah.
Like we have so much to talk about.
So not related to Karate Kid.
Not related to Karate Kid. Okay. Unless you have anything else you want to say about Karate Kid.
I thought I did, but I also liked how they take punches in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Like I feel like a lot of the times with main characters, like they're just expert fighters, and they're always like
beat up a lot.
He gets beat up, and also he teaches somebody else kung fu, and they get beat up a lot.
Yeah, they didn't automatically become an expert and win.
Right, but they do roll with the punches and keep and get knocked down and get up and like
you can't be a stone, you can't be a rock, you gotta be water.
Stream.
You gotta be stream.
Yeah.
Are you ready to move on to some cool things, Michael?
Yeah. Some cool things. What's the movie news from this week?
All right, let's start with something that actually happened at the end of last week that we forgot to talk about in our last episode.
Oh, okay.
Which I feel like is important. Marvel announced that Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars has been delayed. Doomsday was supposed to release May 2026. Now it's releasing December 2026. And Secret Wars is also now releasing December 2027. This is big news because Spider-Man Brand New Day releases July 31st, 2026. It was supposed to be in between those movies. Now it's releasing before. It could potentially be delayed as well. If it does, then it'll probably be 2027. I don't know if they want to keep Spider-Man before Avengers Doomsday.
Is it different studios doing these movies though?
No, I mean Marvel's still doing it. You know, I mean Sony is involved with Spider-Man, but you know, the story is still going to lead into Doomsday.
Okay.
Now the news. Yesterday, news broke of a certain MCU character appearing in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Not as a cameo, supposedly with a big role. Who do you think that character is?
Is it
if you had to guess?
Avenger
level character.
Avenger level. I don't know what's happened to a lot of characters recently because I haven't seen a lot of the new stuff.
Just throw one out there.
I
promise you the new stuff isn't going to help you get this one.
What's going on with Nick Cage?
Nick Cage?
Or
like Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, Avengers level Nick Cage.
Actually, Nick Cage is currently filming Spider Noir.
Right, I forgot he's
coming to Amazon.
I mean, Nick Fury.
Nick Fury is not. Nick Fury was already in Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay, well that's kind of why I thought him. Maybe he. A Scarlet Witch, maybe? Is she coming back?
No, if Scarlet
multiverse
Witch,
stuff.
I would be slobbering if Scarlet Witch was coming back.
I mean, I don't think that she's dead. We didn't see a body in her movie, and Spider-Man's tied in with all this multiverse stuff, and she's kind of multiversal. So I'm like,
it's not Mama Wanda, Mommy Wanda.
You want to? I don't know. You want to tell me?
Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, is supposedly going to have a big role in Spider-Man Brand New Day, and I, quite frankly, honestly, don't understand it. There's a lot of characters that are supposed to appear in Spider-Man Brand New Day now, and I'm getting a little confused. Like, we're supposed to get, like, Mr. Negative, which, if you played the PlayStation Spider-Man games, you'll remember. We're supposed to get Scorpion, Tombstone, Boomerang, Silver Sable, maybe, any type of female villain. Sadie Sink, rumor has it, could potentially be playing Mayday, a.k.a. Mayday Parker, a.k.a. Peter Parker's daughter, which involves some type of multiverse. So, I don't know, maybe it could be a different universe Hulk. Maybe it's not Bruce Banner. Who knows? I have so many questions. I don't understand. I don't understand any of it, Michael. None of it.
How do people know this?
Scoopers.
I don't know what that. I mean, like, right now to me it just sounds like all rumor. Like, I don't.
There's scoopers who you listen to and then you're like, dang it, they've been right before. And then once you see, and now I'm not like perfect. I'm not perfect in telling you like, oh, this scooper is right. Like this scooper's correct. I go off of when I see other outlets that I trust start talking about it, and I'm like, okay, there's probably some weight to this. This scooper probably has a reputation.
Okay.
Like for example, like one time I was skeptical. His name's like Jeff Snyder or whatever. He's not the greatest person from my understanding. I've never met him, but I do have to give him credit. He was like, hey, RDJ is going to be Dr. Doom. And everyone was like, all right. And then 2 weeks later, RDJ is Dr. Doom. And I was like, well, I'd remember where I saw it first.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how these reputations end up getting built.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, but what do you think? Hulk, Spider-Man, is that something you'd be interested in seeing?
Yeah, why not? I don't, like, why are you upset about it? I don't
know. I just want a street-level Spider-Man. I don't want another Avenger, like, crashing in.
Oh, okay.
If I'm going to get other superheroes, I'm really only okay with Daredevil, because I want Daredevil and Spider-Man.
Yeah. And
I want other Spider-Man,
because
I'll never get enough of Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, so...
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't see a problem with that. Honestly, I don't know why the two of them would be together, but I also don't know their lore all that much, So.
Yeah, I don't know either. There is an interesting comic where I think Peter's identity has been, forgotten in the comics before. I don't know how recently or when this happened. If it was after No Way Home or whatever. But in the comics, they have forgotten Peter's identity before, and Hulk actually remembers. And Peter's like, "How do you know who I am?" And then his line is, "Banner forgot, Hulk did not."
That's kind of I don't know. That's a cop out, right? Like
maybe not. Maybe it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
I mean,
I don't know. Maybe that makes more sense if you read the comics.
Maybe. That doesn't really make much sense to me though, because if everyone's supposed to forget, why doesn't Hulk count as everybody?
I don't know. Maybe because Hulk's a different being. I feel like this is therapy for Hulk to figure this out.
So that's coming out 2026?
That's coming out July 31st, 2026.
So like a year from now.
A year from now. They're supposed to begin filming end of July, wrapping in the fall.
Oh, they haven't even started filming?
No.
Well, then what are they doing? How are they going to make the whole movie in a year?
That's a good question. Also, similar to why Avengers Doomsday was delayed, now that's why the theory is maybe Spider-Man will be delayed.
Okay.
Yeah. The other big piece of news that came out today, actually, of filming, was the brand new Harry Potter cast has now been fully revealed.
Wow.
Yeah, we have 3 new child actors.
Great.
I actually think they look pretty great.
Yeah.
Even with the Hermione girl, she has like the buck teeth and like the brunette frizzy hair. That's like same description of the books. Harry looks great. Ron looks perfect. The trio looks really good, actually.
Nice.
how do you feel about Harry Potter being turned into a TV show?
I think it's probably fine. I think a lot of people's complaints with like books being turned into movies is that the people who read the books are always like, they had to cut this, and this out of the movie.
Yeah.
With TV shows, you have more screen time, so you can just cover everything.
10 episodes.
Like The Last of Us, for example, they almost took it like scene for scene from the video game, and then they added some scenes.
Yeah.
Versus if it was a movie, they would have had to cut a lot of stuff. So it's like a lot of times when you make adaptations, a lot of the times they just work better as TV shows.
So if you're fine with a movie being turned into an adaptation, like a TV show, like you're fine with Harry Potter, even though Harry Potter has only been done for like, I don't know, 12 years. But like movies like Lilo and Stitch, you get upset. Even though they changed Lilo and Stitch, it is technically different. Like they did make differences. They didn't do shot for shot. So why are you okay with Harry Potter but not okay with Lilo and Stitch?
I've said this before. It's a different medium. So if we already have a movie for something,
is animation to live action not a different medium?
To me, it's like if you had just made it like from, for example, like Avatar: The Last Airbender 2. They already had a TV show for it, and then they just turned it into a live action TV show. And to me, I was like, this doesn't make a lot of sense. We already have a show. But when they turned it from, before I'd seen the movie, when the TV show was a thing, and I saw the trailer for The Last Airbender, 7-year-old me, or however old I was, got so hyped for that movie. I couldn't wait to see that movie in theaters. Because I was like, I thought it's a new medium. It's like, it's going to be a whole new thing. And it's going to be amazing. Right. So to me, it's like, I don't think you can go movie to movie. I don't think you can go TV show to TV show. But I think that if you go from movie to TV show, book to TV show, book to movie, any other adaptation where you're changing mediums, let's give it a shot.
This kind of feels hypocritical, to be honest.
Why?
Because animation to a live action is a different medium.
But again, when I told you, when I thought that they were going, animated TV show to live action movie back in like, what was it, like 2005 or something? I was so excited as a kid. So it's not just animated to live action, but it's like if you're changing the whole medium, Because again, the live action movie to me was almost shot for shot, scene for scene, line for line. The only thing was that they just took away all of the charm.
Well, they also took out a major character and then changed a major character's arc for this story. Added a major character in David's mom.
We already did
the whole dynamic change. I know, but now it just feels like hypocritical.
No, they took out a character that I liked. They changed the character's arc in a way that I didn't like, and other than that, they did everything exactly the same, just worse.
So you would have been okay with them turning Lilo and Stitch into a TV series,
into a live action TV series if they did that? Sure, why not? I mean, because you get to expand on things a lot more, and you get to change a lot more because you have more time.
So I understand
you get to add things to it, not just take it away.
I understand the take. I just feel like personally, animation to live action is enough of a different medium.
I think you really got to mix things up and make things your own, because I don't really think that I know that you say that they're like two different experiences. To me, they're not. To me, they were very, very similar. And so, I really don't want to get into the weeds on this because, again, this is not that we already did this last episode.
Yeah, watch our last episode if you haven't yet. Yeah. It's called Now Playing Lilo and Stitch and Mission Impossible. Good episode. Yeah. Be sure to watch it.
Do you have any more movie news?
No, that's really the big movie news.
I thought you said you had something about Elio.
Oh, yeah, I can talk about Elio now. Yeah. I forgot I could talk about this. I went to Pixar campus. IMDb and Disney flew me to San Francisco so I could go visit Pixar campus in Emerville, or however you say it, and it was really cool. I've always wanted to go to Pixar campus, and I finally went. It was great. I got to talk.
What was it like?
I got to talk to filmmakers for Elio. I got to watch 25 minutes of the movie. I got to jump into the recording booth with the Jonas who plays Elio in the movie. God. It was really cool. It was a really cool experience, and I have to say, like, be honest. You've watched trailers for Elio.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your impression?
It looks cute. It looks sweet. I mean, like, I like pretty much every Pixar movie, I don't love every Pixar movie, but I mean, I don't think any of them are bad.
I think Elio reminds me a lot of Transformers 1 in the sense of the way it's being marketed. Because the 25 minutes of the movie I've seen wasn't like in like 25 seconds. Like I didn't watch the first 25 minutes.
Oh.
I watched 25 minutes total.
But is
like,
it consecutive? It wasn't even consecutive.
No, it was like different points in the movie.
Oh.
Like I got filled in with context,
wow.
except for the ending. I have not seen how this movie ends. They wanted to save the ending, but it is so much more emotional than people are going to realize. And I have to say, the opening of this movie is so unique. I couldn't stop thinking about the opening of this movie because it just opens and then bam, right into it. Your heart like drops. You immediately connect with Elio and the situation he's in and what he's going through. And it's so simple. It's like, you know, the Up opening, the iconic Up opening, where it's
Absolutely.
like a whole montage of their life. It's like, I felt the same. Like, I felt so bad for this kid, but there was no montage. It was like cold open, like movie pans down, and then you get the situation. And you're just like, oh. It's so like, there's so much emotional weight to this movie that I don't think people are realizing.
Right.
And that's why I say it's kind of like Transformers 1. It feels like it's being marketed as this like high-paced sci-fi comedy adventure, which it is high-paced. And it is a sci-fi, and there is comedy. But there's so much emotional depth to it that I think is really exciting.
The trailer makes it seem like it's some sad kid who doesn't have any friends and he's finally making his first friend. I mean, that seems pretty emotional to me.
Yeah, but like when you get like, it just, the way you dive right into it just works so well. And the questions he's asking himself. And there's one other dynamic that's not in any of the trailers. So I'm not going to say it because I like could not stop thinking about it.
When's that movie come out?
June 18th, June 19th, I think.
Oh, so only like a couple weeks
it comes
from
out,
now.
no, let me rephrase. Officially it releases June 20th. But you
Okay.
can start seeing screenings June 19th. And you and I are actually going to an early screening on June 18th, which anyone could buy tickets for.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's coming up soon, in less than a month. I'm very, very excited for it. I think it's going to be really good.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, I think potentially it could crack. I don't want to say it's going to crack Pixar's like top 5 because it's not, but I could see it contending with top 10. I have very honest like thoughts about it. Like I think the humor I saw in it wasn't really landing.
Yeah.
But the emotional stuff was so strong that I was like, okay, I really like can root for this character and invest in this.
And you've only seen 25 minutes of it, and not even consecutive 25 minutes. So it's like,
yeah, in the flow, the comedy can change for sure. But yeah, so I'm very excited about that. I love Pixar.
Very cool. I can't believe that like you had that opportunity. I can't believe that so you talked to like the writers.
I talked to the directors,
and
producers. I talked to
the
technical
actor.
supervisor. I didn't interview him.
Okay,
we just,
but you went to the booth together.
We recreated like one of the scenes, which is really cool.
Wow.
I talked to the art supervisor. I just talked to a lot of really cool people who came up with these characters in such a unique way. And I don't think people appreciate how much work goes into animated films, which is why I will always love animated films. It's crazy. I learned how to animate. I got to play in like Pixar software that they built in-house. And there's this character called Ooh that like it took me like 20 minutes to figure out how to make it smile. In that 20 minutes, I made it smile for a millisecond. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't imagine doing this for 4 years.
You guys have to make a 2-hour film, and it's like taking 20 minutes per millisecond.
For me, at least.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Dude, it's so cool.
I always underestimate how hard that is. You know, I always underestimate it. Especially when you see people doing the claymation stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Which is why I still think Coraline is one of the best movies ever.
I respect how Coraline was made.
Okay.
I have not seen it since I was 8 years old.
Imagine them making a live-action Coraline.
Would you be down?
No.
But you're very excited for How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, absolutely. I said this last episode, but I have hope for it. I've seen live-action remakes that I've liked before. Example A, Jungle Book.
Yep, it's a good one.
So, hopefully... And you know what? I might even watch more Karate Kid. Like, do you think that they would make like a franchise with Ben Wang as like the main?
They might. If this movie's successful, they might.
Yeah, because they've made plenty of other Karate Kid stuff before. Yeah. You know, and now
I think they will. I think it'd be just him. You know, I don't know.
Right now that we've already had like the legacy stuff, now that Jackie Chan's like been there and like the original Karate Kid's been there, like he can kind of do his own thing now, and he's like they've passed the torch.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, do you think that they could do, like, I don't know, a TV show with him, for example?
Probably not. I don't know. It's so hard because Cobra Kai was so good. So it's like you already kind of like got a really nice send off for these characters.
Yeah.
And this movie, it does kind of feel weird because like you just kind of said goodbye to them, but it wasn't really goodbye. And this Karate Kid Legends does not connect to Cobra Kai whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
Like there's only one aspect I'm not going to spoil that you can be like, okay, this is a result of Cobra Kai. And if you didn't see Cobra Kai, you'd be so confused.
No idea, yeah.
Right. If you've seen Karate Kid but you didn't see Cobra Kai, you'd be confused. If you haven't seen either, it goes over your head.
Yeah.
There's only one little aspect, and that's it. But other than that, there's no connection to Cobra Kai, or really, there's no connection to Jackie Chan's Karate Kid except for how Ben was training. Like some of his training moves, like obviously jacket on, jacket off. That was all his Karate Kid movie. Mm-hmm. The whole thing where he's on like a pole and he's doing crunches, putting his jacket on. That's also his Karate Kid movie. Mm-hmm. So like, there's references in the training, and that's really the biggest callback you have, except for like the really obvious ones of, mentioning Miyagi and all this.
Yeah.
So
interesting. I just feel like we live in the day of franchises where anywhere there's a chance to make a buck, producers are gonna hop on.
Oh yeah, like I said, if this movie makes a ton of money, I guarantee you they will.
They're gonna make a sequel or something.
I don't think it will.
Right.
But you never know. People do love Cobra Kai.
And here's the deal: where's Jaden Smith?
I think he just didn't want to do it. I don't know.
You do think that they asked him?
I have no idea, honestly.
Okay.
I really don't.
Because there's like a whole generation of people where that's their Karate Kid.
Yeah, for sure.
Is he our age? I feel like Jaden Smith is our age.
Yeah, he was our Karate Kid, for sure.
That's what I mean. When he was on
the first Karate Kid movie I saw.
I only saw the trailer, but when I saw him, I was like, that's a kid who's just like me, and he's...
Yeah, except his dad's Will Smith.
He's being a badass.
Just like me, but my dad's Will Smith.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking about Jaden Smith. I was thinking about like the kid I saw in the trailer. I was thinking of the character, For
sure.
And I don't even think I knew that Jaden Smith was Will Smith's kid at the time.
Probably not. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Because also Will Smith's not in that movie. For like that movie After Earth, it was very everyone always talked about how it was like, oh, the two actors are like actually father and son in real life, and they're doing this movie together. I
think they did a different movie together too. Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh yeah. But that's why I was like, is he showing up or what?
I thought he'd be a credit scene or something, but no. I think there's a cameo in this movie that people like instead.
Okay.
Personally, in this current time, people appreciate more.
And they got Jackie Chan, even though he's not the same character.
He's the same character.
Is he?
Yeah, it's the same character.
Huh.
It's literally the same character.
Oh, then really, where is Jaden Smith?
Yeah, which is why it also kind of feels awkward because it's like Lee means to me what you meant to Mr. Miyagi, and I was like, come on, you don't know. Oh, dude, you don't know what Han went through.
No.
That's another thing I will say is maybe not done very well in this movie. Han has a really big emotional journey in Karate Kid Legends. Like, he's almost, as much as he's helping Jaden Smith's character, Trey, Jaden Smith's character is helping him, right? Like, they are on two different emotional journeys, but they are connecting and coming together.
Oh.
And honestly, Han's journey matches Ben's journey in this movie, Lee's journey in this movie, almost, somewhat. Oh. And so it's interesting that there's not like any reference at all and callback to that in that sense. And I don't know how to explain that unless you've seen the movie. And I don't want to spoil it for you. I guess I think you want to watch it. I think you should.
Yeah.
It's a really good movie.
Yeah, they must have asked Jaden Smith, like, hey, will you be in this movie? And he must have, like, I don't know, named a price that was too high for them or something.
Maybe.
I
don't know.
Because otherwise, why would you not even call him, right?
Yeah.
It must have crossed their mind.
Hollywood's a funny game.
Huh?
I said Hollywood's a funny game.
Hollywood is, I guess.
Speaking of games.
Yeah?
I want to spring a game on you.
Oh, okay.
This is not planned. I just want to see how much you've been paying attention. We're just talking about Pixar. We just expressed how much I love Pixar. Mm-hmm. Can you name the Pixar timeline?
No.
Can you try?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the first movie in the Pixar timeline? Just start listing what you think the order is.
I don't know. Dinosaur.
The Good Dinosaur.
No, the Good Dinosaur. No. Wasn't there a Disney movie maybe called
That's
Dinosaur?
That's not a Pixar movie.
Okay, maybe Brave then.
Okay, no, it's The Good Dinosaur. You were on the right track.
The Good Dinosaur was the first movie?
Of course, it's dinosaurs!
Yeah, but I thought it was like, in your timeline, I thought it was like a post-apocalyptic thing.
No!
Because your timeline has so many jumps.
Yeah,
your
that
timeline
makes
has
sense.
so many jumps. Where you're like, okay, and then Cars was a million years after that, and then a million years after Cars,
it's not my timeline, it's a Pixar theory timeline.
Okay.
Just so we're clear.
So
it makes sense.
So there's the good dinosaur, and then Brave maybe.
Yes.
Okay, and then maybe it goes into modern times with like I don't know, like Soul.
No. Oh my
Toy
God,
Story
Michael,
or something?
Michael. It's the Good Dinosaur, Brave, Luca, The Incredibles 2, Time Jump to Lightyear, Toy Story 2, Turning Red, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, Ratatouille, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, Up, Inside Out, Coco, Inside Out 2. Then you have Soul. Then you'll have Elio. Then you time jump to the post-apocalyptic time where machines take over with Cars, Cars 2, Cars 3. Time jump again to A Bug's Life. Time jump again to Wall-E. Oh, I'm sorry, I got that wrong. After Cars, you have Wall-E, then you have Bug's Life, then you time jump to Onward, followed by Monsters University, Monsters Inc., and then Soul. Soul's at the end because they're mimicking human society. I'm sorry, Elemental. Elemental's at the end because they're mimicking human society.
I'm gonna push you off a bridge. How about that?
And I'll still get the Pixar timeline.
You pulled this game on me just so you could flex your own timeline. And and you've made this timeline video like 10 times, so you know every movie exactly in what order it's supposed to be because you've had so much practice. And then you're like, Michael, can you do it?
I just want to know how much you've been paying attention.
This before. You just want to embarrass me in front of everybody. You just want. You just
to be
honest,
I messed up the timeline, so I'm a little embarrassed. I could do it better.
You messed up your own timeline.
I can do it better. Let me do it better. Let me do this right. Let me get this in one shot, okay? Good Dinosaur, Brave, Luca, The Incredibles 2, no, dang it, I can do this. Okay. Good Dinosaur, Brave. It's not over. The Good Dinosaur, Brave, Luca, Incredibles 2, Lightyear, Toy Story 2, Turning Red, Finding Nemo, Finding Dory, Ratatouille, Toy Story 3, Toy Story 4, Up, Inside Out, Coco, Inside Out 2, Soul, Elio, Cars 2, Cars 3, Wall-E, Bug's Life, Onward, Monsters Inc., Monster University, Monsters Inc., Elemental.
I'm gonna fuck your mom. How about that?
Good luck. I don't think you're her type.
I'm gonna fuck your wife.
Yeah, you might get away with that one.
I'm gonna.
I know Allison loves you very much, but I don't think she'll do it.
All right. Well, if you want to see the aftermath of me ruining a perfectly happy marriage, tune in next week.
Join our Patreon.
Right. And go follow us on all the social medias. Leave a comment wherever you're listening to this episode.
Just give us your hot movie take, for the love of God.
Give us a movie opinion. And
we want to roast you on the internet.
We did just film the last episode like yesterday or something.
A couple days ago.
So it's like we haven't really given anyone time to actually leave comments, but I'm going to say it again. Leave some comments wherever you're listening to a full video, and we'll read it on here and react to it.
We'll do it. We'll tell you if you're a good take or bad take.
Right. And thanks for driving in with us.
Yeah, thank you guys. At the Drive-In Movie Pod.